Okay, we are doing this last part of lesson 8. There is a fourth session, but I think we're going to get everything wrapped up here with session 3. Again, our learning target is uh, basically what we want to be able to do is be able to read and write decimals to thousands using base 10 numerals and number names in expanded form. So let's get into our warm up. So, again, with no base 10 blocks to use, we're just going to use these numbers in a place value chart. So we have 24 hundredths and 2 and 4 hundredths. And we're going to write these put them in, write the word form of each number on a card and place it next to the correct model. We're actually not going to do that. We're going to do it like this. Okay, so our first number is going to be, let's put this right in here. So we put our 2 and our tenths and our 4 and our hundredths right there. That's our first number. And how we're going to write that, in fact, let's put this over here. Keep everything on the same page. All right, so again, we look at the smallest place value, which is hundredths. Then we just read the number like we would normally from to the right of the decimal point, which is 24. So that is 24 hundredths. So that's how we say it out loud, and that's how we're writing it down. The second number is 2 and 4 hundredths. Again, the things to point out this time are this decimal point here. We know that stands for and again, the hundredths place is the smallest place. So for this one, we call it 2 and 4 hundredths. Okay, so I like how it uses similar numbers here for the warm up, and again, just shows some of the basic things we've been learning. A lot of you did excellent on the IXL from yesterday, so again, that was good practice on that. So let's move on to the book. So please open your book to page 155. And here's the setup. A school holds a running race. Abba finishes the race 1 and 16,000 seconds ahead of Nadia. Brienne finishes 2 and 3,500 seconds ahead of Chandra. What decimals represent these measurements? Use the models to support your answer. So the model we're going to use is just going to be using a place value chart. Get this out of the way there. Okay. So on your paper, again, I want you to get used to making a place value chart really quickly. And we'll do this. And this will be our decimal column. And actually, I probably made one too many here. Let's get rid of that. Okay. And then label this. I know some of you already know these, but you might still want to label it if you're having trouble. Remember, tenths, hundredths, and thousands. Erase that part there. Get rid of this. Another reason to make these is it helps you remember the order of the place values too. Okay, so let's look at Abba. She finished in just underlines 1 and 16 thousandths. So right away I see the and, so I know that's a decimal point, and 1 just means that's a 1 in the ones place.
Good morning, everyone. Jack Cole is ready for those of us who can get down there right now to get pictures done. Thank you.
And we have 16 thousandths. That means the 6 and the 16 will be in that place. So that, and don't forget your decimal point. So that'll be that one. Brienne finishes 2 and 35 hundredths. So again, you've got thousands, you've got hundredths right here. Okay, so 2 and let's put 35 here. Again, the 5 is going to be in that hundredths column. So that will be how you write it out. So Abba is 1 and 16 thousandths. I'll put A for her. And then Brienne, how about that? Is 2 and 35 hundredths. All right. Looking at this page, it talks about model the measurements with mixed numbers in expanded form. I just want to briefly look at this, and I want you to circle these two fractions here at the very top. Um, Mixed numbers are things we're going to see a lot of once we move over to fractions. That means it's a combination of whole numbers and fractions. And that's why they call it mixed, because it kind of mixes the two together there. So that's just all I want you to take away from that. Expanded form is great. Um, we're understanding that, and we can just move on from there. So look over here. This is exactly how we did it on the first page. Again, use the place value chart to find the answer for ABBA and I think Brienne's times as far as that goes. All right, so for this, um, questions 1 and 2, I don't mind them for discussion, but we're really just not going to focus on that. We're really just trying to wrap up the basic concepts. But so number 3, how can you write 1 and 16 thousandths as a decimal? 1 and, which is decimal, and 16 thousandths has 16 in the thousands place. That's how that works. How can you write 2 and 30? In fact, let's underline these. 2 and 35 hundredths. That is like this. Very good. Explain how you can write the standard form of decimal given in word form. They do not give me a lot of space right here. So um, how to discuss that? How can you write the standard form of a decimal given in word form? Well, start with, let me write it like this. Start with your whole number, then go and slash decimal, and then do what we'll call the fractional part. And that's how you would do it. See the word form, see where the whole number is, look in the word form and where it says and. In fact, let me circle right here. And that knows for me to drop down a decimal point, and everything after the word and is what you put in as a fractional part. And skip 6. All right, let's put this to task. All right, what decimal represents 10 and 75 hundredths? Well, let me do it this way. Underline 10. I know that's going to be 10 whole numbers, and it's my decimal point. Then 75 hundredths. That is just like that. Again, our 5 is in the hundred spot. So I know I've written that correctly, and I say it correctly. So 10.75 or 10 and 75 hundredths. All right, a number is written in expanded form. Okay, I like these, but we're going to have to build a really big um, place value chart because of this guy right here, this thousands place. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so I want you to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a whole bunch. Okay. Um, so all the way over here is this thousands. Next to that's hundreds, then tens, then ones, and turn this one into our decimal. And then we have tenths, then we have hundredths, and then we have thousands. There we go. Okay. And again, we did something similar the other day. This one's using fractions, but listen, this is how this works. This 1/10 is the same as 1/10. This 1,000th is the same as that. Okay. So let's group them. So that's 9 times 1,000. That just means that 9 goes in the thousands place. So let's put that there. This 6 times the 1. That just means that 6 goes in the ones column. Don't worry about the ones that aren't filled in just yet. We'll get to those in a second. Drop down a decimal point. 3 times a tenth. So that 3 goes in the tenths column. And the 8 goes in the thousandths. And there we go. And we've got 3 gaps here because in our expanded form, we didn't have any decimals that were being multiplied by that place value. So we assume those are zeros. And our final number is 9,006 and 308 thousandths, just like that. And last one, which decimal represents 6 and 54 thousandths? Notice how I underline that in different parts. So I know there's 6 is my whole number and is my decimal, and 54 thousandths. That means my last digit will be in the thousandths place. That means I've got to drop a zero here because this is tenths, hundredths, thousandths. And if you look over here, that should be answer C. All right, your homework. Pretty simple one. Probably should have given this one yesterday. Gave yesterday's today, but oh well. You're going to be given in G4 and IXL, you're going to be given problems that just show decimals, and it's going to ask you which certain digits are in what decimal or what place value. So that should go fairly quickly. You've done a great job already learning a place value and rewriting them in word form and taking word form and writing them as decimals. So this should be a piece of cake. But let me know if you need any help, and I'll certainly give you some help.